Okay guys, welcome to another update of Haye Sainte, 23rd of April, St. George's Day. Just another couple of minutes on where we are now with a bit more work being done. First of all, we're just going to take you to a map for the ground in general. What you're looking at there is the road running north-south, the Brussels Road. In the centre ground, then you have Haye Sainte itself, the farm complex with the barn, the stables, the piggery and the house, with the orchard to the south and the garden to the north. Moving up, you have the sandpit and then Wellington's tree. Right, and I'll take you over to the model. Okay guys, here we are. Let's get you in focus there. So, what we're looking at is, just to orientate you, as per the map, we have the main Brussels Road heading north-south. In the distance there, you can see the chemin d'Or, the Haye Way, or the sunken road, which allowed Wellington to move guns and units around in defilade from the enemy. Coming south then, as per the map, the Haye Sainte complex, you've got orchard, main farm complex itself, barn, stables, house, main gate, piggery, and then the garden. Over to the right, the sandpit occupied by the 95th Rifles, and then the junction, which will probably be the last thing to go on, we have the site of Wellington's tree. Okay, I'll just drop you down. Basically what's happened in the last couple of weeks is I've done a lot more casualties. Bob Gagney, Bob from the basement, check his site out. He sends me, keeps me well stocked with Airfix casualties, and I also convert a lot myself. In addition, the groundwork I've done quite a lot now, sort of to the south. I use a combination of plasticine. I also use static grasses, put a base layer down of flocking, sand, dried leaves, which I crush in the coffee blender. Probably why it's not working now. And then I add different coloured grasses, green grasses and dead grasses to bring it out. Make it realistic, can't all be meadows. So I then trample it down a bit. You can see there where the troops have crossed across it. And I also do combination of patchy stony ground. So there's little patches of the grass, but then stones, etc. So, ground right. What we have here is 4 guns of the ground battery been brought forward to provide fire on the ridge, with a caisson coming up to provide them with ammunition. And there's one of the guns actually firing. The rifts are in different stages of servicing guns, loading, putting ball in, etc. Ground centre, you'll see now the road complete. What I've done there, you've got some voltages moving up, but I've also added tracking to that from carriages. Ground centre near, you've got another battalion moving up with, from the left, grenadiers, in the middle, fusiliers, and then voltigeurs in the right. There will be some voltigeurs out in front. Casualties, you can see, moving up to the farm complex. Supply wagon, ground near left, bringing up supplies. And then elements of the old guard just moving up to take post. And then we have Napoleon and his staff who've moved forward to get eyes on, with a couple of guns brought up from the guard battery. And obviously they've fired their salvo, because obviously then in the middle ground there you've got the French cavalry attack. You can just make out there probably a cuirassier, bringing back the colour of the King's German Legion. They were sent by the Prince of Orange to relieve Haye Sainte in line, and were pretty much decimated by cuirassier attack. Some took refuge in the farmhouse, others made it back to their lines. Ground centre then, I'll just roll you forward because you've seen this before. Elements of French grenadiers attacking the orchard, the complex itself, not much has changed here. King's German Legion, sharpshooters, 5th Battalion, sharpshooters, and then elements of line, plus some NASAs. Ground centre right. Okay, again, I'm not going to talk you through what there. You can see the French attacking the main gate, but I'll just take note there of the different types of terrain. I think it's come out quite well. So this is sort of the patchy, rocky ground as averse to meadows. Plenty of casualties. French horse artillery bringing up a gun. And you can see the casualties there of elements of the Scots Greys or the Union Brigade. And moving forward there, again, more casualties. This is to represent the elements of D'Urlion's attack on Wellington's left, which failed, and then the counter-attack by the British infantry, and you can just make out Picton there, shot from his horse, and they were repulsed, obviously, finally, by the elements of the Union Brigade. And moving up there onto the ridge with the squares. Just take you down there. Not a lot of change here. Need to do a lot more groundwork here to represent the maze. You can see bits and pieces of what I've put in. That'll probably be the last to do. RHA battery there. You can see that I've completed pretty much the road. Let me have a look at that. Coming across to the junction. And then what you'll see here now, as I move you up, is casualties in the sunken road with the batteries of Mercer's troop firing. One of these guns will be firing canister, and straight in, when I've done it, into the French cavalry. And what you see there is a casualty there of French line officer with the eagle being struck, and then obviously the brigade trumpet major's been hit, officer of the cuirassiers, and you'll see the elements of the French cavalry attack. Okay guys, that's pretty much it with this update. Next step is to finish off sort of those gaps on the left here. You can see, do the groundwork in there, and then obviously we got to do all the groundwork for the cavalry charge. That's going to be tricky because we've got to get in between all these horses and lances without trashing them. A few more casualties to be done, but we're getting there. I reckon this will be finished by October. Hope you enjoyed it. That's me. Enjoy.